All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Oh wow, I got a little audience echo there, but yeah, we're here once again on a Sunday, joined to you live in full effect, direct from the east side, the side of South Central Los Angeles, right here off of South Central Avenue for one more rendition of the Oliver Happy Hour.
I think my headphones are up too high. Pow, pow, meow.
All right,
meow, meow,
ladies
meow, meow,
and I know. I wish I had one of them things, because we did a whole episode 2 weeks ago, guys.
Right.
Where you guys didn't even go into your what's poppin' thing. Maybe that was my fault.
Yeah, that was your
We
fault.
didn't even have it.
I know.
Can we do it now?
But I know, right? Because
What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's politics?
I think we got caught off guard because we just went straight into like
We did
Beyonce,
the updates.
you know.
Yeah,
because-
yeah. Right. It's fine.
so-
It's fine.
It's
Next
all
time,
good.
Next time.
I still think we need one for politics here. And so
Yeah,
We
I gotta come up with a good theme song. Welcome to the jungle.
Oh God.
Or something.
Not welcome to the
No, because my bad. My mic is a little too high. My bad.
Lord.
Because Guns N' Roses, they're from LA, right?
know.
So anyway.
They are. They are.
Anyway, so you guys, this is our politics episode today. We're going to be talking about a few different things. One of the things that I want to first start off with was talking about Proposition 1. Do you all remember last politics episode we had? We were talking about the upcoming election, and I know we took great detail of talking about each and every one of the different things on the election. So I thought today we can take some time and just review what actually passed and what was certified in the March election out here in California. So first of all, Prop 1 was this thing that Governor Newsom had passed or had wanted to put on the ballot because he wanted to divert some money away from the Mental Health Services Act of 2002, which means that he was going to be taking money away from counties to use for mental health services, and instead he was going to bundle it together with a whole new multi-billion-dollar loan for the state to take bonds out on, right? Not, I shouldn't say loans, but bonds. Bonds are a form of municipal loans that we take out. Because we have to pay that money back with interest. But he wanted to borrow some money so that he can build some more state facilities for the mentally ill. Very controversial because
we talked about this.
Yeah, we did talk about it. So it ended up passing. I ended up voting no on it, but it was a very close election to where it barely got just about 20,000. I think was the margin.
Wow.
Between 20 and 30,000. About that was the margin of it winning. And so I think it just tells us certain things like what's going to be happening because Governor Newsom has his own idea about what the solution is. The federal government has its own idea about what the solution is. The county of Los Angeles has its own idea about what to do with the homelessness problem. The city of LA has its own idea about what to do with the homelessness problem. Nonprofits all around have their own idea for solutions to the problem. So everybody has their own bright idea that they want to do. But we're not all working together. We're not all working succinctly. We're not sharing the correct information with each other to make sure that the people who need to go probably to the state resources, which means like the people who are chronically homeless, who are unwell, the people who you see running around in the middle of the street butt naked, those individuals, the individuals that you see walking on the freeway, those people. Those people who it's like, yes, it's hard for them to find a place that is going to accept them through the arduous process of applying for a unit. You guys know how hard it is out here.
Yeah.
Listeners, you all know how hard it is to find an apartment.
Sorry. It's hard. And, there is no consensus. There's no, like you mentioned, Aaron, all of these municipalities, all of these businesses, organizations, all of the city, the government, the federal government, the state, like all of these people have not created some kind of place or at least meeting space for them to come together and come to consensus on how do we resolve this issue. Especially to me, again, we talked about the Olympics in the last episode. That is fast and quickly approaching for the Summer Olympics to be in LA. So they need to find a solution. I don't think that this was the right one. And we talked about this in the previous episodes. This was not the right decision because we're borrowing money, and that money is then going to be taken away from the organizations that do the groundwork. Like, they're the ones actually in the streets, under the freeways, talking to these individuals and trying to get them housed, and you're taking money away from them to try to come up with the solution that you haven't even well thought out, or like you don't even know if it's going to work. What they're doing has been working. They just needed more funding, but that money is now going to be taken away and re-pooled into some kind of like resource that they probably will have to now apply for and go through loops and hoops. Like, it's just really, we didn't need to do all this. Like, honestly, I don't think it was the best choice for us, and it's just prolonging the issue.
Yeah, it's diverting money. I mean, basically, we don't know what the state. I mean, but I think we do need more state facilities. We do. We do need more facilities, more locked settings for people who are chronically, have serious and persistent mental illnesses, who are out on the street because they get, they get let go of. Hospitals, they're like, man, we don't want you here. They're like, you could be crazy as hell. Could have been chasing at somebody with a machete, but they're like at the hospital. They're like, we need to get your ass out of here. Here's some bus tokens. Yeah, you're taking up a bed. Here's some bus tokens. Go to the nearest park or public bench.
Yeah.
Take it the fuck out of here, though. Yeah. We need to clean this bed and turn it over.
No, literally, because it's a business. Yeah. It's a business for these hospitals, and they do need the bed. Like, that's the thing, too. Like, I don't blame the hospitals for releasing, because the hospital is not a place for, like, long-term care for these individuals. So, unfortunately, it was just, like, no space for them to go. Hopefully, the money does go towards large facilities, not just small ones. And this creates more jobs for individuals who want to work with these populations and actually need jobs, need to work, need to make a living, and they have a passion and heart to serve these homeless, individuals that need this long-term care for rehabilitation. And some people will never come out of those spaces because they're literally mentally ill, and it's just no facility for them that covers their long-term care. And where's their family members? Like, no, some of these individuals nobody knows.
So either they don't know. I mean, and I encounter a lot of these types of clients. Either they are recluse from their family, they are the black sheep.
Yeah.
They have family out of state. They live from Oklahoma and stuff like that. And they gave them a train ticket to come on Amtrak or the Greyhound to Los Angeles because they had some big, lofty dreams.
Right.
And their schizophrenic mind.
Yeah.
Or it's a situation of where their family, they're like, well, you know what, baby, I love you, but you can't be around me.
Yeah.
Because you get to moments when you don't be taking your meds or the cocktail doesn't work. They don't have the support in order to navigate them through the process. But there's actually more DMH programs. So I'm kind of curious about how the funding is going to work, because they're taking money away from counties. But now counties have the ability to create these new programs. And that's the thing, is really that programs are inconsistent. Every 3 years there's a new program.
It's a new program.
Or they close some old one.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious as to how it's going to work, how they're going to shift some resources around from the Department of Mental Health. Because I was at a meeting down in San Pedro the other day, and they were talking about some programs that didn't exist 8 years ago, like when I was working in the hospital setting. And there were very few resources for a family member to have to reach out to if their family member was getting sick. Basically, they had to get so sick to where they were going to kill somebody, and then they could get admitted.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Or kill themselves or kill somebody else,
Right.
where it was a harm to
get
themselves or
5150.
others. Yeah.
For observation.
Yeah, so hopefully there are more resources that will go towards these counties for that. But I think 3 years, you said it changes like every 3. That's not long enough. Like most
It's not.
programs, you need like 5, 6 years to see if it actually works and then decide to take it away because sometimes it's just a cycle that you need to go through. But I do think like we'll just see. We'll see. You guys, the vote was yes, and so now the money is going to be going towards the state and the federal government to try to figure it out. So that's just what it is.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that. And some other news. Well, why don't we talk just real quick about, because I wanted to get some of the poll results from some of the things, but real quick, just to have this conversation, are you guys familiar with Assemblyman Isaac Bryan?
No, I don't know who that is.
So check him out, Daisy. He was from UCLA.
Okay.
He used to work at UCLA. Yeah, he represents I think the 52nd or the 51st district, but basically he's parts of South LA, South Central. More the West Side, not over here on the East Side, but more like like the Lamert Park and I think like Chesterfield Square, like over there, that area.
Okay.
So he is one of the only assembly person. Well, he's working real hard right now to get a lot of those wells over in like
32.
Ladera Heights to get a lot of those wells and things shut down. And then he was talking about the fact that he's a renter. Most assembly people, they have houses or have multiple houses, have vacation homes and stuff like that. And he was just talking about the fact that he was one of the few people who is actually like a renter. And so he understands firsthand about some of these things going on with the rent being too damn high.
Yeah, like how are you supposed to make a living and also live in California
It's crazy.
and
People
be able
are
to
making
pay
more money than they were 10 years ago, but they still are struggling.
Well,
also,
the cost of rent wasn't that much 10 years
Yeah.
ago. 10 years ago, you could get 10 years ago was 2014. You could get a 1-bedroom apartment out here for $800-$900.
Yeah.
You would have been over in the jungle somewhere, but you could have got it.
You could get it.
And today, that same apartment's probably going at least for $2,000.
Yes.
Yeah, which the rent has just gone up exponentially, way too high. And even though people are making more money, Dev, you're right, but that percentage of money is now going towards rent.
Right.
It's like it used to be like your mortgage or rent should be about 30% of your monthly income. Now it's like 60%, 50 to 60%. That leaves very little for people to be able to buy groceries, which has also been impacted by inflation and going out, gas, repairs on your car when it comes up, maintenance for the house or for the rent, when things come up and you got to fix things, emergencies, like there's just so many things that come up that you need to account for in your monthly budget. Now that 50 or 60% is going towards rent, you only have 40% for your everyday living.
Yeah.
And and people still want to go out, they still want to eat dinner
Still
out
wanna
with
travel.
their families, but they're overspending and now taking more out in credit cards. And so it's just going to be another cycle of maybe a possible recession, and that's what's going to bring the rent down, because that's what happened in California when it was a recession. That was the time when the rent went down. Otherwise, these owners of the buildings and these business owners that want to collect money, they're greedy. And so they're like, this is the time for us to increase rent. We don't have caps on rent. We can increase it every single year by 10-15%, and the renters are just like, we gotta live, you know what I mean? So we'll just
have no choice.
We'll take the hit of 15% every single year. Like that's a lot, you know what I mean? And
That's
for your
not
rent to
cool.
increase, and it's already at maybe it started at 800, but of course 10 years down the road, yes,
Right.
it's gonna be $10,000 if it's increased by
no.
15-20% every year.
Ooh, no. You need to fix it, Jesus.
I don't know. I just think we should have more legislation that definitely handles the mismanagement and greediness of these business owners who own these buildings. That's just what I say. For the people who own the buildings, they're the ones that are controlling the rent, and they need to be handled. They need to be because they're making a ton of money.
And it needs to be a cap, man. It really do need to be
They're
a cap
making a
on
ton
rent.
of money. They're
Rent
not
control needs.
Yeah, they're not being monitored. And where is that money going? Are they giving it back to the community?
Right.
Are they supporting the local other businesses?
Yeah.
Are they pouring it into a self-sustaining community that they're now investing in as well? I highly doubt it, because a lot of these business owners, you know where they come from? China. They also come from the Middle East. They also come from other places outside of California. So they're just trying to make money, and they're not thinking about the impact that or
Yeah, that's
the
causing it.
consequences.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I do think that they need to be handled, and hopefully this Isaac Bryan, you know, is onto something, or other legislators are really onto something. Like, bring these people to the table and like literally let them know like this is not okay
Yeah.
At all.
No, absolutely. So just to get into some local news, election results, Eric Perrodin, who's a former mayor of Compton, he became the city attorney because he was ran unopposed. So he got 6,256 votes. I mean, hey, I have nothing against Eric Perrodin. I mean, he was a mayor for 12 years. He was also a deputy DA. And so by the end of it, he was really focused on that, not being city mayor. But I wonder if if he's going to be working full time as a city attorney or what. I know they got rid of Craig Cornell a while ago. Anyway, Satra Zarita, she won as the city clerk.
Okay.
Let's see, Deidre Duhart is representing, the house in Compton, over there, Devin, for you, Deidre Duhart. Lily Darden is over with the 4th District.
Okay.
Makai Ali got reelected to the city, to the school district. Charles Davis got voted out. And but yeah, that was the news for Compton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lord.
Lord. Now.
Wow, Daisy, you know what I'm
Child,
saying?
we've been
Hit my
struggling with
face.
these
Devin
mics. Okay.
hit the Lord help me, Lord.
Lord help.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. I was about to say, what else, you all? Next up, we have let's just a quick conversation about the LA. This is LA news. Just talking about the city controller Kenneth Mejia, who's at odds with Mayor Karen Bass over the budget. So the LAPD, they're getting an increase about 25% in their budget from the city allocation.
Oh, wow.
Kenneth Mejia, he's a little bit of an activist, young guy, about my age, about 33. And so he's really kind of trying to really go against the status quo around there. So he has been really critical, saying like, hey, Mayor Bass, why would you increase that when you have all these other departments that we have to fund? And they're talking about getting rid of like over 2,000 positions or even more that are vacant right now in the city.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's saying, well, Mayor Bass is saying, oh, well, I'm getting rid of those jobs so that we can give pay increases to those people who are currently working. So he's been skeptical of a lot of that, but hasn't really given a clear detail as to what the budget cut should go for. So he's talked about like cutting the budget for the Bureau of Street Services, the ones that like fix the streets and stuff like that. And I think he's just doing very symbolic things to try and do kind of like a doomsday scenarios that the city's budget is really out of whack, and that it's really because of the strikes last year. A lot of fees that the city normally gets in its coffers are not there. So it's going to be a really big reckoning because they're really curious as to how much money is going to the mayor's program Inside Safe to get some of those homeless individuals into hotel rooms. Yeah.
Interesting. Why are they using hotel rooms? Why don't they use empty buildings that like don't have anybody in them?
Well, because then you got to think about. I mean, yeah, you got to think about the process of getting the permits,
Yes.
of doing the rebuilding. They can't
Okay.
really do that.
Mayor Bass she did say something about like the whole logistics behind like the reason why they don't want to just rent hotel rooms because that's just like a short fix.
Okay, so she's aware of that. So
Yeah.
the short fix for now is using hotel rooms,
Yeah.
but until they can.
But I think they were talking about doing like the little container
I mean, those projects, it's some empty right now. That's right off of Imperial, right off of Imperial next to the 110. Those things are empty. It's another one that's off of Firestone, right past Hooper.
Okay.
Or maybe after Compton Avenue. It might be past Compton Avenue. I forget. But
Okay.
another building empty.
Like,
So
what do you have to? I wonder, what is it that you have to do?
You have to get. It's a lot, even in construction. You got to get permits of occupancy. You have to have all this coordination between different departments. You know,
like
and their backlog.
Oh my God, Jesus! Help.
Yeah,
I'm
and
telling
construction
you,
delays.
they gonna fix it before the Olympics get
Oh,
here.
for
That's-
sure.
Like, we honestly, because it is very problematic for us to go down the street when we're coming from Alvin Ailey's performance and then just seeing like these whole tent homes.
Yes.
Like, these people are really living a whole life on the street. Like, their
In a
tent
tent.
is legitimately their home, and they've expanded it, added different sections to the tent. Like, this don't make no sense. And honestly, you know, what I do for work is I work with international students, of course, trying to get into U.S. universities. So oftentimes we talk about like the environment and, you know, what it's like. And one of the students from Europe, I think he's like from Paris, he was just like, you know, I'm honestly considering Canadian schools more so than the U.S. because the U.S. is pretty dirty and like the homelessness issue is super problematic. I'm
Wow.
like, and they it's not like this student hasn't visited the U.S. Like,
Right.
their parents make good money, obviously, for them to afford the services. So they
Hey, man.
I'm making good money, and that's the impression of these international people who are just like,
Yeah.
the U.S. is really.
They need to stop
You
because
said this was-
everywhere got a ghetto.
No,
Okay.
Devin, no. I've traveled all around the world. Let me tell you, the U.S. is dirty.
Well,
Like, it's
obviously,
it's
Shit,
pretty
LA got a whole stench.
LA, I'm telling you, I honestly, again, even in China, you would think that because they're overpopulated. When I tell you that street in the morning is spick and span, and they hose that street down, and there is no trash. It's overpopulated. It's actually more people than it is in LA. However, we have an issue with basically controlling it.
Yeah.
Like, we just let people come from a lot of places around the world, and it's just open and free for all. Whatever way that you lived in, whatever place you came from, you could do it here too. And guess what? Oh, you homeless? Well, you can live on the street. Like,
Man,
no.
Look, I'm
Yeah.
trying to get the motherfucking city to come down, and I got this damn mechanic that bought the tire shop on the corner, and this motherfucker want to park all these raggedy ass jalopies on the street in the red. And, you know, I got a little coupe, so I can't see over some raggedy ass van that you got. And he got some kind of pickup truck. It's all fucked up and got broken windows and shit. Got glass on the ground.
Darren.
Got all kind of parts and oil and shit leaking from it. And it's been there for weeks.
Yeah.
And I gotta call him and try and gotta be nasty with somebody to say, well, shit, give me your number. I'll text you a picture. I
Yeah.
need you all to come down here and clean this shit up.
All right.
Yeah.
You
No,
guys
seriously.
charge me good money for my property taxes go up every damn year.
Yeah.
And you can't get somebody, you know, coming down the street with the street sweeper and you know, come clean that shit up. Come on.
No, and that's the point.
that's
That's the
facts.
point that I'm making, Darren. Is we are good citizens, and most of us pay good money in property taxes every single year. Whether your mortgage is paid off or not, you pay property taxes,
Yes.
and you pay those taxes for the city and the government to then be able to manage the
Yes.
upkeep of the city.
Yes.
It's not happening. It's like, where's that money going, and why are we allowing people to just live any old kind of way?
Right.
So again, I go back to people looking into the U.S. and wondering, oh shit, of course they want to go to school. The prestigious, you know, parts of the city like UCLA.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
still
They
a
like the nice parts.
there's
Yeah, they
still-
want to go to
but
Santa Monica, all that.
Darren, it's Westwood. You still got homeless people because the hospital is there, so it's a lot of homelessness in Westwood.
Okay, nice.
Santa Monica, you have the beaches there in Venice.
Venice,
You know, you know the issue in Venice in the homelessness.
Oh,
so
yeah.
even
On the
even
doggone beach on the boardwalk.
even in our nice communities, it's still an issue. So again, I go back to like, no, this is problematic. Even in the places that we are publicizing are really nice. When people visit, they're like, what is this?
Yes.
And that's the impression that they have. Like, it's dirty, it's unkept. I think I'm gonna think about, and I've been to Canada. You know, I've been to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, you better take your
It's
ass to
clean
Canada,
as,
buddy.
It's clean
It's
as hell
clean.
there.
I mean,
but they're thinking about the schools because of the prestige. Obviously,
right.
around the campuses, they
Yeah.
keep it clean, and students will come here and just stay within their little bubble from
Yep.
international places. You know what I mean? And they're happy with that. But the surrounding city, they're like,
Yeah, I mean,
No.
but I mean,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, LA, we just do not have enough housing, and we continue to get more people coming than we have leaving. I know everybody wants to talk about, oh, look at all these people that left California, and I'm like, well, bet how many people came back?
yeah,
How many of the people who left then came back?
within a year. Yeah.
Right, or within a few years.
Right.
I hear that story all the time. People being upset that they had some nice apartment that the rent was cheaper than what it was going for, you know, and they left and they're like, oh, I'm trying to come back. I'm trying to make my way back to L.A.
Because
there's no place like it. So it's no place like it. So it's harder to get people to leave and to get out of here because there's not enough housing, and the rent is too damn high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got all these, what California needs to do, actually the federal government needs to do this because it's all across the country, is to stop these big corporations from buying single family homes.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you can own an apartment building or something like that, or anything more than 12 or 15 units. You can own that, but stop buying single family homes.
yeah.
And you will have to sell it within 5 years. Liquidate this shit and do not. And I'd even be damned to say you can't make a certain profit off of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll stop. You can't make more than a 20% profit off of this. You better sell this shit to the community and not try to make money off of the backs of the ordinary families out there.
Yeah.
You know, who are trying to buy homes.
We've
And you motherfuckers come in and buy it all cash, inflate the market. Now we got high interest rates. Nobody can afford shit.
Yeah.
And now people's mortgages are trying to rent a unit likely costs more than some people who've had a mortgage for more than 5 years. You know, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We can't get out of it. It's gonna be, as soon as we clear an RV, it's gonna be somebody looking for one because they got kicked out of their damn unit.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, and I dare to say also that it is enough housing. There's a lot of empty units simply because it's not affordable.
affordable, right.
So yes, I do think we need to continue to build more, but also make the ones that are empty actually bring those prices down, and they will get filled.
Yes.
Because that's money that also the companies that own them are not getting. So why not just reduce the rent, make it affordable renter housing, and you will get paid too, because now that's a unit that you're now collecting money on. It may not be the full amount that other people are buying, but it's still money that you're getting.
Yes.
So everybody benefits in
Everybody
that.
benefits.
You know what I mean?
It's on a month-to-month basis. It's not like they're struggling because they're lowering the rent. Like, I just don't understand.
Right.
It. Like, why are these big corporations or companies or whatever, like, why
Why are they buying it?
Why
Because
are they so greedy?
they need to
Kevin.
make money for the shareholders. That's what's happening.
Right.
It's why some of these companies are not sharing more profits with employees.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
crazy.
that's why, why at Carl's Jr. and McDonald's, why it now costs more money, because
Yep.
they just went up for $20.
Yep.
This month in April, they went up to $20 per hour minimum wage for fast food companies. For
Yeah.
large companies that have more than 60 employees or like 60 locations or something like that. And so what? Now your meal at McDonald's costs more. I saw a video of some McDonald's in somewhere, and they didn't have nobody working the register no more. I noticed. I tried to go to McDonald's the other day. It was just one damn register they had built in with the new remodel. You know, they had this little
Wow.
McCafe shit going on. So it was just one, like look, they want you to use the little machines.
Yeah.
They want you to order from there. They don't want you coming. And the line was long. People want to work with a cashier.
I heard a Big Mac is like $15.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, like a meal.
Shit,
A
I might as
meal.
well, I might as well
Yeah.
go to Claim Jumpers or somewhere like
Might
that.
as well just take your ass to In-N-Out. It's better anyway.
Yeah. I
In-N-Out
mean,
ain't that good, but maybe like Umami. It's a better burger place.
Habit Burger. The Habit
is nice.
Burger,
Habit is
is
nice.
really the Habit Burger is really good, and
But
they
yeah.
have charbroiled.
Five Guys.
Like
But
they're
even
better.
at that place, you'll end up spending $16, $17 if
Yes.
you want the fry, the works.
Right, right. I mean, it just goes back to Devin to answer your question. Why are people greedy? It's just they're just greedy, you know. But they do need to be monitored, and there does need to be like some incentive that we give these business owners, because the reason why people are leaving and coming back to California is because they can't make the same money. If I move to Georgia, if I move to New Jersey, if I move to any other places, the majority of times is you will not get that monthly paycheck or bi-weekly paycheck weekly. You won't get the same amount as you get in California. So people quickly recognize that, even though they may have a better quality of life and bigger space, they're like, oh, but this is also hurting my pockets a little bit, because
Right.
I like that free money that I was able to just spend on vacations. So they come back, but then they're like, well, 60% of now my money goes to rent. Like, it's just it's a catch 22.
It's a messed up cycle.
It really is.
Even in those other big metropolitan areas, the rent is pretty high. It's hardly any different from LA, because these investors who are buying these properties, whether or not it's single family or multifamily, they're going after metro areas where people live, where people have higher incomes, because they want to take more of it. Housing is the one damn thing we all need.
Hello.
Yeah.
You know?
It sucks.
So anyway, why don't we talk just a little bit about Fannie Willis? You know, we were Fannie Willis, rather, the district attorney. I know. Do you guys remember we were talking about her?
Yeah.
Talking about her
Last Politics.
Definitely. Yeah. So, I mean, the update on that is basically the judge allowed her to continue the case, and whatever issues or whatever things that Trump was trying to distract the case by, which was to put her on trial. And she's like, I'm not the one on trial, but sure, we can go through this process. Basically, the judge was like, okay, Fannie Willis, you can still continue the case, but this dude that you hired can no longer continue it. And we need to like basically monitor not your communication with him, but he just can't be a part of the process now. So, but they spent all that time because of Trump's distraction. Now Trump has basically appealed that decision. So he's just like running around in circles trying to prolong this case, because he knows Fannie Willis is coming after that ass, and he is going to have to pay buku money. Y'all stop giving this man money, because you're just continuing his evil cycle of not taking responsibility for what he did, which was he caused the insurrection. He caused a lot of the, things that she is putting him on trial for. Yes. He is actually guilty. Like, and I know American justice system's not innocent until proven guilty, but you have to question his reasons behind appeal, prolong. Oh, let's put her on trial.
He doesn't want the information to come out. And that was just the biggest issue, is that they did not put together these cases fast enough, thinking that it was just going to be delay. I mean, the pandemic itself had already backlogged the courts. But even like with Merrick Garland should have charged him, those insurrectionists, a lot earlier, and they let some of them lower level people get off too easy.
Yeah, literally.
They didn't have a strategy. They were trying to throw the book at some of the people who they needed to throw a few pages at, just to get them, more realistic time, because a lot of that shit got appealed.
Right.
A lot of that stuff got appealed, and they out scot-free. Some of them motherfuckers over there running for Congress right now. Can you believe that shit?
That is
and what ends up happening is only crazy motherfuckers end up running for stuff.
Right.
Only the wingnuts be so passionate about shit that they be running for stuff. And they need to sit their crazy asses down. Matter of fact, we need to make a nice bed for them at one of these new state facilities that's going to open up with Gavin Newsom.
It's true, Darren, because honestly, they be talking crazy. If you really do listen to them and pay attention and read the information that they try to put out, it's pure craziness.
Wait, do you guys look at the Newsweek? Do y'all look at articles from Newsweek?
Not really, but Newsweek, I think, because you talking about that one where the co-defendants of the Georgia case said to Fannie Willis, like, you need to recuse yourself by noon on Monday, or they're going to take legal action against you. What is that about? All that is just a bunch of bullshit talk from some lawyers who are trying to write threatening letters to intimidate people.
Yeah, it's a tactic. She's not running that okie doke. No.
Hell, who do y'all think y'all are?
She has too much proof.
Yes.
Like, honestly, and she knows. And if you listen to her interviews and just like quick moments when reporters ask her questions, she has so much conviction
Yes.
in her words, that she's like, I don't need to sound like these other crazies yelling, screaming, super, like she has so much conviction that she's just really like, this is what it
That I
is.
could do scream, holler, do all of that, accuse me of other shit, threaten me. I'm still gonna do my job.
Literally.
Okay?
And that's her response. She's like, with the calmness and with the conviction that honestly, I wish like I cannot wait for a documentary to come out about this woman, because what Trump has put her through, like the nonsense and just
Yes.
her attitude towards the entire thing has been just so clean and so
Yes.
pure and so truth that like you really can't deny it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, girl, like you
Yeah.
got what you got. We know.
I say Megan Good should play Fonnie Willis in
Okay.
the Lifetime movie of.
I would not. That would be good.
That would be good.
Convicting
I think she could do. I mean, speaking of Megan Good and her boyfriend, what's his name?
Jonathan
Majors. He
Jonathan
came out
Majors.
with a documentary recently responding to the cases. It's on Hulu. Yeah, he has like a interview that he did after after his trial and everything, and she's like been by his side the whole time.
Yeah,
it's
she
very
has.
interesting.
Very much
but
so.
he had that whole case against him. It's like
Yes, I'm
ruined his
so. I
career.
want to hear. I know, and I want to hear. Low key, I do want to hear Megan. Megan Good's, you know, her
Yeah.
thoughts on it, because she stood by her man,
Yeah. I mean,
and they haven't even been together.
No,
for
he
that
got
long
he got.
for-
I mean, the case was against his girlfriend, so literally that happened. And damn, the hell they
Oh,
building next
gosh.
door? Shit.
okay.
Hold on.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, they start dating after this incident happened, because that's what they broke up off of, like him and the white girlfriend, right? It was his girlfriend that had accused him of all that stuff.
Well, yeah, it was his girlfriend, but was
Yeah, the white girlfriend.
the white girlfriend, but they broke up because he started talking to Megan Good.
No, they had their own incident.
Well,
but
yeah, I
that,
know
that
about that
incident
incident.
was them breaking up, and then he got with Megan Good like a month later or whatever.
So okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Like they started dating during his trial.
Quickly after it, and like that
yeah.
was.
So
you
that's
know,
what I'm saying. I want to hear her side, like, because I don't know if I would have been going with him to court.
people were saying that she was a plant at first, like he was just trying to get the, how OJ.
Yes,
you know, like,
she's trying to be his Coretta.
Yeah, right. Well, hey, look.
I mean,
I
and
guess,
also
I guess.
her ex husband already got a new boo thing too. Like
Devin.
yeah, she had to. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Devin?
Devon Franklin.
Devon
Like,
Franklin,
yeah,
yes.
he already got a new boo thing, and they're moving on from their divorce. Like, it's very
Yeah.
clear that they both, were
And they're
separated,
still
friends,
cordial, and that's all good.
just moving on,
Yeah.
moving on.
Well, sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
What's up next, Darren? Is that
Yeah. Let's see. So, we just talked about Fonnie Willis. Let's see. What do you guys want to talk about politics? Anything else?
no. I think that's about it.
All right. So just please continue to vote, everyone. Continue
Yes.
to stay involved, stay in the mix, stay in the know about some of the things that are going on, because we got to depend on you all.
Yes.
We are the future. All right. So let's say our proverbs, you guys.
Trust in the Lord with all
Wow, Daisy. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6.
Trust in
The Lord
with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Did I say it too fast? Y'all, the food is here. So I'm just saying, like,
They don't know that. The audience doesn't know that. Have
you
a
guys
nice
know
week.
it now. We love you.
The cards will fall where they may. And what about me? I believe in faith.